Hello, everybody. Stefania and I are here at Mission San Antonio de Padua, I think. Mission San Antonio, nonetheless. It's on the reservation or the property, military reservation of Fort Hunter Liggett, near the town of Jolon. I believe it's pronounced Holon. And, anybody can come here. I think Stefania has a little bit of the mission in the background right now. At one time when I used to train here, when I was in the California Army National Guard, we actually started either at Camp Roberts or Camp San Luis Obispo. So I wasn't really familiar with some of the facilities here or coming off and on as far as like showing ID. We would do our tank trails through the back area by a lake. And although we trained here, I really never saw this mission. We never came close to it. The other thing I want to tell people really quick is when you come on, anybody right now can come to where we're standing. What Fort Hunter Liggett did was realign its fence line. So the fence line actually encompasses the operational part of the installation, which does require military ID to access. But the main guard post, which is very structured looking, you will see that if you're trying to get here, but there will be a sign, and the sign will state that, the sign states, I think it says through passage, no ID required, keep moving, or something like that. There's a sign, and I think it's even lit at night. So yeah, you can come here and you'll see the operational side of Fort Hunter Liggett on the right-hand side. Fortunately for me, now that I'm retired, my daughter and I were able to actually get accommodations, which is about 200 yards from here. If it wasn't for the fence line, this is actually walking distance from where we slept last night. Really quick, one thing before I start talking about this mission specifically, I want to talk about the nature of the California, what we call now the California State Missions, 21 of them. So these were designed and built for a purpose when Spain colonized this area of the world, let's say the Americas. The mission concept, they were never really meant to stand forever and ever. There was a mission concept for a few reasons. One of them was to proliferate and this is a quick continuation from the prior video. It's going to be short because it's too hot. It's too hot for my camera to run. But I'm just going to mention really quick that it's really hot. So the Spanish built these, and they had a military and a theological base or strategy to it, to say. So one thing they wanted to do was proliferate the religion of Christianity, Catholicism amongst the Native Americans at the time, and they would incorporate those Native Americans in daily life, chores, whatnot, as they would educate them, teach them, preach to them about Jesus and the Trinity. A bug just... I can't believe that. I just swallowed a gnat. That's not... Oh man, what a video this is gonna make. So so these outposts were to spread the word of God, but also at the time of colonization, the French were also encroaching, and maybe even the English. So one thing they wanted to do was make their presence known and establish these missions every so about a day's worth of journey. Now on my prior one, I mentioned the mission bell, and there's the mission bell here for this one. And I pronounce his name wrong all the time, but Father Junipero Serra, he's at the base of it right there. This was one of the ones that he had founded. This mission was the third mission built by the Spanish. One significant thing to always remember is Spain had this territory for about 300 years. Mexico got its independence in 1821, and a short 27 years after that, the Mexican-American War took place, in which in 1848, this all became United States property, and in 1850, California becomes a state. And then President Lincoln ends up relinquishing all the mission property back to the Catholic Church for a time. Now, for that 28-year duration that Mexico had this property, all or majority of these missions fell into disrepair. Some of them fell into private hands. Some were just used for horse stables or storage. Some were pillaged, and valuables were extracted from them, whether it be building materials or significant items that were inside. Some were restaurants and bars. So the notable thing that I always think about is when people of Mexican descent, God bless them, they say this was all Mexico's property, returned California to Mexico. You kind of hear that once in a while. And the thing of it is, the short 27 years the government of Mexico had this property, not only did they not enhance and increase the infrastructure, but they let what was built up by the Spanish go into disrepair. And it really wasn't until the end of the Mexican-American War where the United States started building up California. You got to remember, if this war ended, Mexican-American War ended in 1848. We had the California Gold Rush in 1849. Shortly after that, it becomes a state, which also coincides with the expansion of the railroad to the west, from east to west. So a lot was going on geopolitical within the United States government at the time for this to be. Now, to justify the Mexican-American, that's my daughter's antenna thing. That's how I can find her when we're on the road. This little skeleton. Yeah, when we get separated, I look for a white car with a skeleton and I find her. If this cuts off, I'm just gonna end it. It's hot for the camera, it's hot for me. I'm in my motorcycle gear right now. We're gonna be home tonight. But once again, it's during COVID, by the way. So the Mission interior is actually closed off. It's closed, but there are a few people taking videos and photos of the exterior. If this abruptly stops, it's because I keep getting warnings of my camera overheating. It's about 90 degrees out here right now. So there's a little history for the Mission of San Antonio de Padua, I think I want to say. There's a burial ground here. I'm not going to be able to get it today. I will be coming back out with my brother Tony, but there it is. I don't know how well I'm coming into frame on this because I have it in regular mode. For some reason it's not overheating, thank God. But I had started another video and I'll try to join it. So here's another good shot. I feel like running it out until it dissipates. Now this does have an interior corridor, so there's 4 sides to it, and there is a centralized, and if you look at it on Google Maps, there is a centralized courtyard area in the interior. Once again, I'm cutting this short due to camera capability, the heat that's bearing down on me and the camera, and the time that my daughter and I got to get on the road and head south and get home tonight to Riverside, California. We're going another bug almost flew in my mouth. You know something? I'm glad I swallowed that other one. Hopefully it died. Gnats all over the place. Let me see how much more footage I can get. This is a really beautiful area. Basically, the hotel military lodging I stayed at is, let me see if I can see it from here. We're in a little bit of a defilade, a little bit of a valley. If you see, you won't be able to see the building, a little roof maybe. But basically, the lodging area I stayed at is right on the other side of that. Seriously, walking distance. Actually, I think that's it. I think that's it right there.